Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire ordinal space. Ordinals, guys. Only ordinals. But we have a great show for you today. We have our weekend update. We are not Saturday Night Live, but we do a weekend update for you guys. And we have really good stuff to go over. Just before we got live, me and Yagobi are over here buying bitmaps, buying the floor because gas is going down. And we got sats minting out at 99 almost, guys. We're going to mint out today. It's moving so quickly. We're going to get into that. We're going to cover some other stuff too. But without further ado, let's get into this. Let me bring up my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What up? Yeah, man, great spaces this morning. I love Saturday mornings. It's almost kind of like watching cartoons back when you're young.
Yeah.
And now it's like getting ready for spaces. So
yeah, man. It's definitely fun. We had some connections made today in the spaces, just like every single week. If you're a builder, you guys should definitely get in there, try your best, because they're always builders talking to builders, and that's what it's all about. It's all about talking to builders, seeing what's going on, updating people on everything, and really getting into it. And I think we had some great conversations. We had Animoca Brands in there today, which was awesome.
Yeah. And it's always interesting on how to handle the bigger entity brands, right? Like, especially when they come into our Saturday morning spaces, because we have so many like grassroots builders in there. Kimmy is a curator himself, I feel like, in terms of, gathering these grassroots builders and not just grassroots. He actually goes after everybody, which is great because it brings different perspectives. But I think it's very important to ask the bigger builders, what's your intention? Are you going to, work with smaller builders and partner and stuff like that, just to kind of see, are they here for the hype or are they here for the actual innovation?
100%. And Animoca definitely seem like they're here for the innovation, because the hype's not here right now. You know what I mean? Like, if you're hype on the space right now, you're crazy like us, because it's just not here. And
Well, I disagree to an extent, right? So not your typical, bull run or even like degen, like super hardcore hype, but the hype that I see are people that know DeFi and they know, the importance of Bitcoin, and they those two things connect in their brain together, right? So like the people that are here are super convicted in the future of ordinals, which is like us, right? That's why we're here.
100%.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
All right. We got the news thing. Oh, we got something happening right now, don't we? There's something insane happening right now.
Yep. Just then, Sats is minting out. No, we've all known this. And it's very, very close, guys. Like, this is an exciting time because, this was launched or deployed in March. This token was deployed in March, and let's see where we are. 99.2% minted out.
Whoa, dude, we're moving.
Yeah, so this is gonna mint out today. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Don't you think?
Oh yeah. I think it mints out at like midnight tonight. I think we push Eastern time, or maybe 0 UTC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think around 7, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I think that'd be crazy.
Yep. I agree. And it's a little bit of a shame that the mint out party was kind of dampered with all the stuff that was going on with the inscription numbers and all that stuff, which, by the way, that was barely brought up today. And so during our spaces, which was a breath of fresh air, we got into like building and all this other stuff. There was 2 small mentions about it, but that was about it. So but back to Sats, man. We're talking 35,000 holders now, almost 36,000, 35,817. So I will assume that we will be at the 36,000 mark. You had, talking off air before the show, you had mentioned, there could be a similar, action to how OXBT, ended up being. What are your thoughts about that?
So OXBT had about 20. I want to say it had like 26,000 wallets at one point, right? It was the highest. Wow. It was something crazy. It was right when VMPX was the highest, and that was the Zen community. They're crazy over there, so they support anything Jack does. So that was given. And then OXPT had, did the airdrop and stuff like that. And there was so many wallets. And then it was just, I don't want to go over the price aspect of it because it did the same thing, but it was the wallets. You saw 26,000, 22,000, 18,000. And I think we're sitting around like, I don't know. You can check that out for me, OXPT holders. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just afraid this happens again. But on the other side of it, everyone thinks we're going to dump at 100. So what normally happens when everyone thinks one way, it goes the other, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
90% of the time, when everyone is leaning one way, somebody comes in and rocks the boat and sends it the other way. So
100%, 100%, or not 100%. Well, 100%, I agree with you, but yeah,
yeah,
I would say that happens probably like in the 90% of the time,
yep,
right? It's
yep.
crazy. And officially, as of right now, there's 16,165 OXBT holders,
Yeah,
by the
so
way.
we're down about like 40% more than
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah. I will
So
point out a fundamental difference between the two was that, Redacted and the team had fully minted out that token prior and
yeah,
then did a launchpad style, uh, mint for the community, which is completely
yeah.
different
A fair
than,
drop, yeah.
yeah, then a completely decentralized distribution of coming straight out of Unisat, right? So I think that matters because as of right now, there isn't, in terms of the token itself, there isn't really a centralized entity behind it that we know of, right?
Yeah,
There's several Sats profiles on X, right? And there's a Chinese version. There's a like multiple like English versions. There's the
yeah.
one that sticks out a little bit more that kind of responds more that I think has maybe like 4,000 followers. But yeah, so the deployed wallet also like I don't think holds any.
0.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. Like here I'll pull up the deployed wallet here. You can see, let me log out of this. You can see that there's no OXBT here, or sorry, no. Hold on a second. Is this
Sats.
apps? Yeah, but I
I don't
want to
think
make
it's
sure.
sats.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think this is. Yeah, this is OXBT. So if we go to sats here and then pull that up and then go to the deployed wallet. Yeah. So look like they sold their sats a long time ago,
Yeah,
right? So, who
that's kinda
knows?
cool. I like that.
Yeah. So that's another thing too, right? So, this sats situation is there's some mystery behind it, which I think is goes along the ethos of Bitcoin and
Yeah.
you know, what the environment that we've all dedicated ourselves to.
I mean, it definitely has all the narratives, all the tangibles about being the next big meme token for us, right? But, like, you gotta take that for what it is. It's gonna be a meme token. Like,
Yeah.
no one's giving this thing value. No one's gonna be like, "This is my token," because it's stupid to do that as a builder, because 'cause you'd rather just do your own stuff, mint it out 100%, and then airdrop it to your community, because that's you're not gonna get all the sats holders to adopt because you're adopting this token to adopt you as well. So, it wouldn't be, like, the smartest, and it's an option because you're also getting a community that's already being built, and you're just kinda joining it, but it's not your community. So, I don't see that happening right now. It could happen this time next year. But if you're planning to hold this long term, I think not financial advice, but I think it goes up and like within the next year or so. But what happens in the next couple weeks is it's hard to say.
Yeah. And for me, my mentality, and none of this is financial advice, of course, but I'm definitely more of a long term bullish on this, like long term
Yeah.
holder. I didn't put in more than I could invest, or put in more than I could afford. Sorry. But like this is all motivated people right here, though. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that. Like you're talking 32 trillion all the way down to,
Yeah.
I remember back in May or in even June, late June, getting to 1 trillion was a big deal. And
Yeah.
that if you had 1 trillion, you were in the top, like I want to say 20 back in
Yeah.
June, early June. And now if you look at it like 1 trillion, if you get
So
down
many
to the one,
holders of that. Yeah.
exactly, like you get down to the 1 trillion mark, bro, like you're talking about the very last 1 trillion holder is ranked 394.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of motivation in terms of what, you know, people wanting this to succeed, in my opinion. You know, it's not
You got to
just like
remember too.
Go ahead.
There's 40% more sats on the market than there was then.
True. But there's been so much sats that have been available to be on the market. It doesn't matter. It didn't never.
Yeah.
I feel like it never mattered. And actually, you could get sats cheaper on secondary. I would say like majority of the time since I want to say July, right?
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I think that people that think that there's just going to be some huge dump, I think they're going to be surprised. Now, that doesn't mean that I think that this is going to skyrocket right off the bat. 32 trillion is the top holder. In the top 10, I think the least amount was like maybe like 15 trillion. I don't know, but I'm willing to guess that, a couple of those could be like wallets connected to centralized exchanges or something, right? So, who knows, right? Who knows? But I will say that this is going to be, in my opinion, a heavily traded token in the upcoming swaps. It's going to be a heavily speculated token in whatever centralized exchange decides to list it first. And it won't be looked at the same way as a traditional meme token, in my opinion. Now, you're going to have people that come out and say that it's a shit token, right? Because if they're either doing majority of their trading on the Ethereum chain or other chains that don't really like Bitcoin, and it's like a way for them to just crap on it, because at the end of the day, it's still another BRC20 that doesn't really have utility, right? It doesn't have utility. That's just the fact, right? But there's a lot of tokens that started out without utility and eventually was just used as like a platform token. And so we'll see. Like, I'm still backing the idea of it being probably the most brandable token in the BRC20 ecosystem. But time will only tell, right?
I agree. Yep.
So,
all right. Let's dig into we have any more news cover before we get into it? Or, okay.
Yeah. We got a couple other things here. Let's see. For some reason, can you click on, there we go. I don't know why that wasn't working for me, but so this morning, and you could see on our spaces that we live streamed, I think we live streamed it.
Yep.
Right.
This one.
So just to let the audience know, every Saturday morning, we will live stream our spaces now. So you're going to get even more alpha directly from the builders.
Yep.
But Beyond Life is a project, a metaverse project that comes out of the Animoca brand family. And we had Ben from that project he's a lead for that project, get into kind of explaining why they came over to Ordinals. And the audience did a great job asking questions, tough questions. We asked them about Bitmap and stuff like that, and if they're considering that. And there was some definitely surprising answers that were positive. How'd you feel about that back and forth?
I thought it was awesome. If you guys haven't checked it out, it'll be on Apple and Spotify as well. If you guys want to listen to it later, probably really good in podcast format. But anyway, he basically, I asked him the question. Like, is there anything you guys can do to, like, AWS type of stuff, those chains, and basically telling your management about full utility over here and full on chain and not on Amazon Web Services. And that was kind of his point there. And which was basically like he's trying to get that team to buy in on this, and he's trying real hard, and that really made me definitely bullish on him as a person right away, because he is sold. He was at the conference and he's going back to Animoca team and saying this is where we need to be, and I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah, well, it was definitely encouraging, kind of how he started off and said, I had to convince my entire team and management that Ordinals was a place to be. And I think right after that, though, part of his persuasion argument points, or points that he used, was that, like, the liquidity amount on Bitcoin and the user quality on Bitcoin and stuff like that. And I think you got to be careful with that coming into like a grassroots ecosystem. And I think that probably caught some people a little bit off guard. And then you had the great questions from Bean that came in and asked them, what projects are you specifically, talking about?
Yep.
But I will say he just needs to learn more, and that's okay,
Yeah.
because he's newer to the community side of things, right? So
100%.
I think it's okay to be like someone that's interested from the outside, and having that light bulb go off above your head, and then focus on convincing your team, and
Yeah.
then learning more as time goes on. And so that was encouraging for sure.
I agree. Definitely. So it
Um,
was definitely a fun interview. You guys want to check it out? It was really I thought it was like he went 45 minutes. We
yeah,
normally don't let anyone go 45 minutes, so that was it was really cool, and I think it's going to
yeah.
be groundbreaking in the future. So
For sure, for sure. And there was one thing that I think you and I can kind of go back and forth a little bit here on, and it was whenever I asked him about the bitmaps and if he was considering using them and
yeah,
stuff, and if you want to kind of talk about what he said and what your opinion was in on, with that, and then I'll kind of
yeah. So the
rebut
question
that.
came up. It was your question right off the bat, and I thought it was a really good question. And he basically said like yeah, like they jumped into it, they're looking at it and stuff like that. But then he kind of hinted towards you guys say it's decentralized, but it's not. You have brands like IMSO, Expector, Foxy, and he didn't bring them up by name, but that's who he was talking about. Basically buying them up and selling them to us on like a 1,000x return, right? But these are the ones that those teams are building on, which creates it to be kind of centralized, but kind of not. So that was kind of his point with that is like what's the difference if we just create our own and then you guys buy that? Like so he didn't say that in those words either, but that's kind of what all of his words meant.
Yeah.
So
And so we were talking about this off air, Shizzy and I kind of came back and said, maybe we need to look at Bitmap as more of a marketplace of metaverse domains. I believe Blockrunner has mentioned this kind of before too, to where, the marketplace is you are able to pick your web builder in a sense, right? Like
yeah,
whether it's Animoca or Life Beyond Life or I'm So Crisp, Bitmap Valley or whatever, and they design your website, but it's really your bitmap, right? And so maybe like the bigger entities will be looked at more of like, okay, they're going to build their platform, which is going to be more heavily used, and then you can be a user on that platform, kind of like
yeah,
the eBay or Amazon, like where you can have your own like space or whatever, and then you have your other builders that are going to do more boutiquey stuff. But it definitely works that way in my eyes, and it creates more of a free market, open free market,
yeah,
right? Which is not like any other metaverse environment. So I disagree with what he's saying in the sense that it makes it, yeah, sure, like for that specific application, like you are within the constraints of the developer, but you don't have to use that to be on
yeah,
Bitmap. You can use
true,
another builder, right? And then the hope is that like a lot of these builders work together, and then there's like bigger ecosystems within the Bitmap ecosystem that
for
build
sure.
together, and they're interoperable, and each world's composable, left and open composability to be able to work with another ecosystem, right? So that's the idea of it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I really like that aspect of it because it's it does go away from the centralized thing that everyone's already thinking, decentralized metaverse and stuff like that. So so I definitely agree with everything you said because it could be so much more than decentralized, than a marketplace. Then there's so many ideas what this could be because it's community driven, and whatever it is, the community is going to have its back. So it's going to be a lot of different things. And we might have some decentralized players come in and build it more decentralized than VC Expectar and IMSO Chris and stuff like that and Foxy. So we'll see. I think only time will tell, really. So
Yeah, and also like I want to say something really quick about the idea of decentralization, right? Like it's this great idea to be able to self-govern and all that stuff, but
yeah,
human nature has always proven that like when you have social bonds and relationships, like decentralization starts to kind of get broken down even at that level, because now
I agree.
if you have similar ideas to like your social group, right? You know what I'm saying? Like in every like let's talk about like these groups, these alpha groups, right? Like you get in there and at the end of the day, like someone's really controlling, who gets to come in and out of those, right?
Yeah.
And so like we all want this like perfect decentralized social world, but it's just with how humans work and our minds work, we can't have that, or we just can't have social relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
eventually what happens, but like yes, you can stay true to it as much as possible. I think that's the idea.
Yeah. I agree.
So
Sounds good.
awesome. Awesome. And I think really that's pretty much it. Can you think of anything else?
Well, the Bison testnet dropped. We did a full video on it that will probably be out within the next day or two. Probably put that out tomorrow morning. So we're gonna put out the update, or maybe tonight. We'll see. We'll have that out for you guys soon. It was really good video. Jay Lee again is round 2. We really went into the swaps and stuff like that. But if you've seen our 12 days of Bison, we're on day 6. Today will be day 7. And go watch those videos. It'll get you all caught up, which I thought was the kind of the point of doing the videos. Obviously a lot of people don't have time, but if you have an hour throughout your day, each video is about between 8 and 10 minutes. You can get all the way caught up and really get in on what is going on with the Bison and everything with that. So
Yeah, for sure. So let's go ahead and jump right into the update, since that's why all of y'all are here.
yep.
um, let's check it out. So we will start with the BRC20 market. And of course, number one is stats. The volume there has just been nuts. I've seen it like 24 Bitcoin within 24 hours, but man, it's really starting to jump up again. We're at 0.0005274, which gives you 100 billion sats at costing about $1,400. It's going to be very, very interesting on what happens to secondary right after this mint out. And also the next couple of days, like announcements. I think that's going to be important to kind of make sure that you're focused on your X timeline, because we'll see what happens. Maybe after mint, there's going to be some entities that announce stuff we don't know, right?
Yeah.
But Sats is up 13% on the 24-hour period. Oshi, this was interesting. So Oshi is sitting at $557, so it's up 5.37%. So we all know that they're all living in a hacker house somewhere in Europe, but
yeah.
I did hear a rumor, and I don't know, I don't have it confirmed, but supposedly like Block Runner's going to be collabing with them on some type of infrastructure. So
For Oshi,
yeah. So we'll or Boss probably, or
no,
Oshi.
for Oshi, not Boss. Oh,
so the
Oshi.
swap, which is probably is a part of that, right? So
yeah.
So yeah, so that's going to be interesting. What comes of that? I think we'll speak more on that once we get more clarity and confirmation. But they're up on the day, and maybe that's why, because they were mentioned in one of their videos. Number 3, Track is down 19%, almost 20%, sitting at 30 cents. So
Yeah,
there's a drop.
Track had a huge week though. Track went from 23 cents all the way up to about 34 cents, and now it's falling back down. So this is normally what happens when a token jumps up 50% in a matter of a week. So
yeah, for sure. And they got a lot of stuff like cooking, it seems like. So just make sure to catch that Bison video, and you'll see what we're talking about. But also number 4, Ordi is up 2.5%, sitting at $3.77. So it went down a bit, and then now trying to trickle back up. Zing is up 88.89%. So that's really good, sitting at 2 cents.
yeah.
VMPX is up 2%, sitting at 5 cents right there. BTCS, this is one of the ones I was talking about in the spaces today. They have a strong Chinese community that seems to be tied in with the Wii community.
Yeah.
They are sitting at 8 cents. So it's pretty good. 8 cents sitting at 298 96 sats is the floor. So looking good, up 3.47%. And then XBTC, so another meme off of BTC, up 106%. OXBT is up 11.67%, sitting at 67 sats. This is one that I'm curious about for the long run. I would say if this token had lived in an Ethereum ecosystem, I feel like it would have been dead a long time ago. But because it's in the ordinal space and it's so early and there's still big names and stuff behind it. And there hasn't it's almost like if you degen over here and let's say like there's no like way to really suck liquidity out the same way as on the Ethereum side, right? So I actually think because of that, OXBT is lucky, and they're gonna have probably be revived because of the branding behind it. But we'll see what happens to that. Pepe is up 7.41% on the day, sitting at 58 sats. Bone up 100%, sitting at 2.9 sats. Meme is up 20%, sitting at 54,000 sats, which is $701. So that looks definitely up. Orpo. So there's been more like little posts from their dev that talks about the bridge and how people can stake and stuff. So we'll see what happens here. They're sitting even at 11 cents. Council is down 9.57%, sitting at $111. So they've kind of hit a lull here.
There's nothing going on with Council now. Their project isn't really minting out at all, and they had the issues with the wallet website and stuff. So I don't know. I'm definitely down on Council. I hope it bounces back, but not something that I'll be buying here.
Yeah, and we know they have a strong team, so they
very strong team.
I think they're just probably waiting. Maybe I don't know. We don't know, but maybe we can get an update from those guys or something. Maybe have them on.
They've been super quiet, man. They got to come out and say something. But yeah.
Yeah. So SBTC, another kind of play on the BTC ticker, up 11.52%. Texo is even. SHIB is down 33%. Bank is down 48% after kind of jumping back into the top 24. Boss, which is not related to Boss from what I remember, is even. Zbit, this is something that has kind of seen some energy injected back into it. It's an early minted token or deployed token, sitting at 3 cents. It is up 7.69%. Deed is up 4.17%. I think it was a play off of Bitmap. Zuni is even. How much are they at? $6.61. This is one of the Zen ecosystem tokens, supposedly.
Yeah.
Punk is even at $49.95. And so that's pretty much it. The BRC20 market has been definitely a little bit, of life has been injected to the other tokens other than Sats because of the Sats mint. Because we were seeing a lot of zeros, which there are, I think, like 4 or 5 here with no movement. But I remember at one point we saw like close to 10. So we'll kind of see what happens there. But that is your BRC20 weekend market update.
And then I'll jump you guys right over to Magic Eden. We're going to look right into the Ordinal update. We have Ordinal MaxiBiz always in the number 1 spot, sitting at 0.225. Then we have the Bit Apes by Bored Ape Yacht Club members sitting at 0.006. The Bitcoin Frogs, man, in the 3rd spot here, sitting at 0.00259. This is one I'm hoping to get cheaper because I want to pick up Frog here, but it's just hanging out right here, and I might miss my opportunity. But it is what it is. Then we got the Bitmaps sitting at 0.0002. So these guys have been, pretty here for a while between 0.0002 and 0.003. So they've been sitting there for a while. Could be an opportunity. We have, if you want to buy a 1-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 3 Bitcoin. If you wanted a 2-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 0.089. If you wanted a 3-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 0.025. If you wanted a 4-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 0.0035. If you wanted a 5-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 0.003, which is about, I want to say, about 60% higher than the floor. So, we'll hop back over to Magic Eden and we'll take a look at Bitcoin Punk sitting at 0.01159. And then we have the Ordinal Punk sitting at 1.2. Seize Control sitting at 0.13. These guys are finally back in the 12. I think it's the 2nd week in a row. We have Or Cash sitting at 0.0034. These got all the way up to about 0.004. Now coming back down here now. BTC DeGod sitting at 0.48. We have the Dan files. This is something new. I have not seen this. Okay.
Look at the inscription numbers, though.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Inscription numbers dropped, didn't they? I guess because of the Casey stuff. Because you weren't picking this up for this price a little bit ago. But
what do you mean?
Like these were like going for 1 or 2 Bitcoin, and now obviously the Dancing Baby still is, but like picking this up for 0.65, it definitely dropped.
Yeah, maybe a bit, but like I don't know if this was more of like a message or something to the space, but
Yeah,
yeah, we'll kind of have to see, right?
the Dan files. That's weird. It's new to
Yeah.
me. Bitcoin whales. This is up a lot on the week. I think we talked about it in our weekly market update, but it's sitting at 0.00173. Up up a lot. They got all the way down to 0.008. So this is more than 100% up. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy for the whales community. Really loved what Tosio and those guys are doing. Oracle's sitting at 0.039. Still not in our price range to pick one of these up yet, but really loving the art and everything that comes with that. So
For sure.
yeah, man.
Yeah, and the nocturnal maxis also, they're still kind of up pretty high.
Yeah. What are they? I didn't do a check.
Let me see. So 0.038. Man, I regret not getting one of these so bad,
No.
but it is what it is with that.
Good. I'm happy for that community. I'm happy for Mr. BRC. Those guys are really amazing crew. So
For sure, man. Like, yeah. So both cyto markets, I feel like are, have like a certain amount of energy in them. Probably ordinals a little bit more, other than Sats.
yeah,
But I think the most interesting thing is what happens after Sats gets minted out, right? Like, what's going to happen after that? Because
100%.
we'll see. There's a lot of possibilities, right?
Yep. There was something we did not cover in the last weekly update. We should probably jump into. It is the what's in the wallet.
Oh yeah,
But
that's right.
nothing new, guys. Whoa. Oh, they actually labeled our pet now. It's up here.
Nice.
So that's really cool. $395. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's because,
incredible.
well, you gotta look at the Sats, the rare Sats on there.
Oh yeah.
So it definitely is. It's it's pretty rare, I would say, just because all the special stats associated with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
That's really cool to see. Reflections still in here.
yeah,
Got two of
I'm
these still
curious
waiting
what's gonna happen with that, right? Because
yeah.
I do know that there should be, so we should probably be in their Discord more to see
Yeah, we
what's
should.
happening that. But
We have our
yeah.
bitmaps, and these 2 bitmaps right here will be the ones in the IMSO Chris I guess
Bitmap
metaverse.
Valley. Yeah.
Yeah, so these 2 will be them. So thank you guys for sending these in. And then we have Pepe Milady's. Wow, $7.44 for Milady.
Moving on up.
Moving on up, Milady. And we have the
Neo
Neo
Yato.
Yato. We have the Bitcoin Maxis. Wow, Maxis got some price though. $2.66.
Yeah.
I'll take it. So.
A little bit. Community is pretty. They have some strong members. I'll say that.
Yep.
And then other inscription. What's that?
Oh, this is our from the BitLive.live crew.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because our channel.
That's our channel
Inscription.
saying we own the channel. Yeah. And then Foxy OG Pass. And we got our boy Kimmy.
Yep.
And then Uniskelly. Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Mr. J. Shout out to Mr. J from Uniskelly. He was on our platform panel today, but want to get him maybe on the show because
yeah, we should.
He's one of those builders over there in the Keeps group and stuff. That's definitely spreading the word on Ordinal. So
yeah, Yeah. And if you guys want to get on here for our weekly update, just send it. We'll have the wallet address at the bottom. You can send your whatever. We'll talk about anything you guys send here. So please
and
don't
then
send anything you want to rug, but yeah.
Yeah, but also we didn't talk about the bit pets. So that is Bavo, BAVO. I believe they have a token. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's officially associated with them, but that is them. They build these or they have this project with the bit pets that is works with the let's see, bitmap.rcsv.io environment. So
Yeah.
you can actually use an HTML, or sorry, I don't know if it's, I think it's HTML recursive inscription to bring this pet into your avatar that follows you around. So it's really cool. So much
Yeah.
cool stuff being built, in the space.
Really awesome. You can get one of these peps for 0.01. What is the Oh, it's only 100 supply. That's why.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's another reason
Awesome.
too. Yep. For
Oh
sure.
yeah.
For sure.
All right. And I think that's all we got for today, guys. Really appreciate you watching, listening. Remember, we're on Apple, we're on Spotify. If you cannot watch, please listen. And then we're going to start having our spaces on there as well. I'm going to put that up probably after the show. So if you did miss the space, we're giving you more opportunity to go and listen. It'll be on the Apple, it'll be on the Spotify, and it is on YouTube. If you go under lives, you can't miss it. Appreciate you guys liking, subscribing. We're almost at that 700 sub mark, and we just appreciate every single one of the 700. We appreciate you guys liking and everything, man. Just it's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, for sure. And just like some of you builders out there, we're building in the bear market, so it's not the easiest because we'll put out, like this past week, I think we put out like probably 12 videos,
Yeah,
13 videos. But we know that we're early, super early in a small but powerful space.
for sure.
That's going to grow too. So all the support we appreciate, even if you only can listen on Apple Podcasts or iTunes or whatever. If you don't mind, just hop on YouTube when you get a chance and sub. But we know that you'll be on the stream, the audio services, but it'll just help us out. So we appreciate all of you guys. We love all of y'all, and we're gonna keep doing this because we love to do it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, just like he said, guys, we did 13 videos this week. I don't think you understand how much time that is. That is a lot of time prepping, editing, all that stuff, man. Really getting everything in there for you guys takes time, and we just feel like you guys deserve the time that we're putting in because we love doing this. We really do. Like we both have full-time jobs. They take our energy away, but doing this, man, it gives me energy. It really does. I tell my wife that like I feel freaking jacked up when I'm talking about ordinals and crypto and stuff like that. So really appreciate you guys listening and giving us this platform to talk to you guys. So
For sure.
see you guys, and remember the revolution will be televised by us. See you guys.
Peace.